David, do your thing. Let's hear what happened to you.
Hey, my name is David. I'm 22 years old. I was born and raised in southern Alberta. Growing up, I had a pretty good life. School went okay, but I never put much effort in, just enough to squeeze by. I ended up getting suspended a lot, and then in grade 10, I dropped out and started working full-time. At the age of 14, I was introduced to cocaine for the first time. Not long after that, I got hooked and started out doing it just on the weekends. Soon it led to almost an everyday thing. When I turned 16, I ended up switching jobs and moved to Vauxhall, Alberta. I lived there for 3 months. I partied almost every day and started to experiment with many other drugs as well. That's when I found my drug of choice and got addicted to crystal meth. After that, it didn't take long for me to get fired from my job. I ended up moving back to Lethbridge and starting working for the first company I ever worked for again. That only lasted a few months, and then I was let go again because of my drug use. I ended up on the streets, selling and abusing meth. I got involved in some shady things to support my habit. I'd be away from home for weeks at a time, and my family never knew if they would ever see me again. Then a couple months before I turned 18, my parents got a court order to get me into detox. After I got out, I was dedicated to staying sober, but 10 days in detox wasn't enough. I tried to do it on my own, but I only lasted 2 months and ended up relapsing. After this, I ended up attempting to get clean a few times on my own after that, but I kept only making it to the 2 to 4 month mark, and then I would relapse. After the last relapse I had in 2019, I was so ashamed that I decided I was going to take off from home and never come back, so my family wouldn't have to see me like this. So in 2019, I pretended to go to work in the morning and just took off. I ignored everyone when they tried to contact me. I ended up on the streets again, abusing and selling. I had hit rock bottom. I was so full of anger and depression. I had accepted the fact that this was the end of my life, that this was how I was going to die, on the streets, and that was probably the last time I was ever going to see my family. But on Easter night, God intervened in my life. I don't have time to go into detail, but some crazy events took place that night, and I ended up at home again. That's when my parents started signing me up for Teen Challenge. I was in such a dark place that I ended up using it until my intake date came. I entered the program at 115 pounds on August 14th in 2019. Teen Challenge is a 12-month faith-based program for those of you that don't know about it. The first month was definitely the hardest for me, but I felt God starting to work through me, and everyone around me was really nice, so I figured I'd give it a try. And I'll never forget my second weekend when Pastor Dyck came to visit me. It was unexpected and it meant a lot to me. It reminded me that there are people out there that do care about me. And during my time at Teen Challenge, I was able to grow in a strong relationship with God like I've never had. I also had a lot of time to just really dive into His Word. And because of Teen Challenge, I've learned how to forgive myself for my past. And I think the biggest thing I learned is that I can't do it on my own. So during my year there, I've learned to be open about all the things that I'm struggling with, to the people around me and to my family. And I've never felt better knowing that I'm not fighting my battles on my own anymore. Through Teen Challenge, God has given me a second chance in life. And not only was I able to witness the amazing work God did through me, I was also able to witness some amazing work that He was doing in others' lives around me. After I graduated from Teen Challenge, I got to go back for a 6-month internship and give back to the center for everything they'd done for me. For 6 years of my life, I went through hell. And now with joy, I can say, through God, I am now 1 year and 7 months sober. All thanks to God and the people around me and all the prayers. I've never felt happier than I am today. So I just want to encourage you that if you know anyone struggling with addiction, there is hope. Tell them about Teen Challenge. It's the best decision they'll ever make. The place saved my life and has done so for many others. To close off, I just want to thank you guys for all your prayers. I know quite a few were praying for me, and I'm really grateful for that. I believe if it weren't for God and the people praying for me, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you.